Dubai. Can you start by talking about your experiences so far?
Well, I mean, I got here Saturday night, I believe, like actually early Sunday morning, so I didn't have time to really walk around Dubai yet. But I played 9 holes yesterday. I really love the course. I think it's kind of different. It's a little different than the other courses. It's like a mixture of the Asian courses and maybe European courses. I really like it, and I think it's a good course to me. I'm a kind of a longer player, and I love the greens here too. They're really fast.
Okay. We'll take some questions, please. Joy?
Hey Shanshan, why don't you start with what has been a dream year for you, up to number 6 in world ranking, a major win, winning the Japan Open. Why don't you just start with your...
Because last year, although I won on the Japanese, but I didn't do that well on the LPGA. So that really gave me confidence in America. And then I started to, do better and better. I won in Japan. And then after 2 weeks, I won the major. I mean, that major win was like, it was like unbelievable. After I finished, I didn't even know I was leading by 2. I have a habit that I don't look at the scoreboard, the leaderboard during the rounds. I always only look after I finish 18 holes. So I didn't even know, how important that shot putt was. But good thing I made it. And I'm really happy that I won the Japan Open also. It's like one of the majors on the Japanese tour. I would say it feels really good, after I won all the tournaments. It makes me feel like a star right now, because when I go anywhere else, it's like everywhere, a lot of people recognize me, not only in China, but in America and Japan also. But I would say, I really like the life this way, and I still think I have space to improve. I hope I can, do even better. And I would say this week, it's my second last tournament this season, so I'm not going to give myself too much pressure. So my goal maybe would be top 5. Just try my best.
You kind of talked about how that made you a star. I mean, what difference has it done for your game to win the major?
Excuse me?
What difference has winning the major? What difference has it done for your game, your confidence, or winning it so early in the
I mean, it's my 5th year this year on the LPGA, so I would say this is not an early win, because I have 4 years without a win. And yeah, after I turned pro, because I turned pro on 2008, and then since that I didn't have a win until I think August last year in Japan. So I really had a long time that I lost my confidence, because I won so many times when I was a junior and amateur, and then I just kind of lost the feeling, like it's like how to win. I'm like, can I win again? So that win in Japan last year really helped. So I believe now, as a pro, I still can win worldwide. And started from there, and till now it's maybe just a little more than a year, and I've won 7 tournaments. So I would say that win last year, that breakthrough was really important.
Shanshan, what's happening in China is just amazing. I mean, you have a 14-year-old guy qualifying for the major, or for Masters. You have Andy Zhang, who played last year as a 14-year-old in the US Open. You have you, who won a major, who qualified for the US Open way back in 2007. Can you just give us an idea of what's suddenly happening that so many young stars are coming out of China?
I think there are more and more people. First of all, golf is picking up in China. There are more and more people starting to play golf, and maybe when I just started, I was the youngest ever. I mean, not ever, but I was the youngest in the competitions. When I was playing the amateur tournaments when I was 13. The others were like over 20. So we really had like a gap, between maybe from 10 to like 20. But and then now I think started maybe from 10 10 years ago, started to be more and more people picking up and more kids that are interested at golf. So more and more people trying to be a player instead of just playing as a hobby. And I think Asians are really good at these small controlling things. I say we see Korean and Japanese, they're doing so well, and I believe if they can, Chinese can. So I feel really happy to see so many young players that they're doing so well. And I just yesterday, I think there was another girl that she qualified for the LPGA from mainland of China. She's not exempt, but she still did very well. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more of them going to be on all the tours.
Do you feel like a resounding favourite coming into this event because you're the highest ranked player coming in? Do you feel like you should come in and own the competition?
Well, like I just said, I don't want to give myself too much pressure. This is actually the first tournament that I played, I would say first European event, like not co-sanctioned with the LPGA, like the first one after I became a member of the LET. And I don't really know how the LET is, but I know there are a lot of strong players. So like I said, just top 5. That's my goal. I don't think about too much, but of course I'll try to play my best and focus on every shot. That's it.
Can you just mention or give an example how your profile has risen in China since the win? You said you were recognised a bit more and things like that. Can you just give us an example of what it's like?
I would say, before I really won the major, I was just like somebody walking on the street. I can have, like a hamburger in my hand and like a Coke in my hand. I can eat on the street. It's like nobody would recognize me. But I would say after I won the major, even though golf is still not that popular in China yet, but still, if I'm in the airport or I'm in a restaurant, somebody will still recognize me. Sometimes they come up and they say, hey, we will support you if you play better. Or sometimes I hear like people, they talking about my name, like, oh, that's Shanshan, something like that. So that's pretty funny. That's a really good experience about it.
I mean, in terms of golf in China, winning that major, I mean, you have a lot of players going up, but what do you think that your win has done for golf in China? And do you kind of see that part, like now for tennis, do you see yourself now kind of promoting the women's game in China and for Chinese abroad?
First of all, I think Lena is a great athlete. Because I think we're the only 2 person from mainland of China to win majors.
Right.
I know how hard it is, so I would say, her win really helped, Chinese tennis a lot. But golf is right now in a different situation right now because it just got back to the Olympics. I mean, it's starting from 2016, and I would say in China we focus more on the sports that are in the Olympics. Yeah, but because now we have the chance to prove that golf is, Chinese can be good on golf, and we can get medalists. We can get medals on golf, and then that way, if we do it, and then we can show the Chinese people like it's good, and then maybe they can change their attitude. Because right now, honestly, I would say the image of golf in China is right now a little negative. Because it's all about expenses. It's like expensive, and it's like a game of rich people, and it uses a lot of land. So we have to show them that it's worth it.
Shanshan, I noticed that you wear Golden Bears clothing. Have you ever met Jack Nicklaus, and who has been your influence growing up, and then as a professional, as you meet and hear about all the other players?
I have never met Jack. I'm sorry. but I'm always wishing that I can meet him. I think we had a chance this year that if I could go to London, during the Olympic time, I could meet him, but I couldn't make it because I had a tournament that I had to go defend. But I'm sure, if we have a chance, I really love to meet him sometime. When I was growing up, I was always watching, the LPGA tournaments on TV, and I think Curry Webb was my idol at that time when I was maybe 11, 10, when I just started. Because I really whatever she was playing, bad or great, she didn't show anything. She was so calm and she looked so confident, and that was the way I wanted. So she was my idol. And then 2007, I qualified for the LPGA, right? So and then I got a chance to play with her in 2008. And first thing I said to Curry, I was like, Curry, you were my idol when I was growing up. Curry was like, so you mean I'm so old? I said, no, Curry, I didn't say anything like that. And Curry's like, I'm just joking. So, even though they're stars, but they're still so friendly, just as person.
And of the current crop of players, who is the one that you admire most? In men's or women golf right now? Who is the player you admire most?
What does it mean? Sorry.
Admire.
Your favorite player right now? My favorite player? I would say Yanni. She's #1 in the world right now, and she's like a really close friend of mine. And she's been my chasing target since maybe I was 13 when the first time I met her in America. We were both 13 at the same time, but it was my first time to go to America to play a tournament, and she was the defending champion. So at the start, I was so far behind, and then I always try to chase her and try to catch her. I think we got a little closer, but still I need to work harder.
Talk about Chinese sports, like how golf isn't popular because of land and because of expense. What sports do you think fit the Chinese psyche more than golf? And do you think that golf will ever develop and become popular, despite the expense, despite the land, stuff like that? So what sports do you think are popular in China?
What are popular? Of course, ping pong and table tennis and diving, badminton, because and soccer too actually, and basketball. Because I would say for those sports that you don't need a lot of money, you can just join. You see them everywhere. You see the basketball field everywhere. So I think it's easier for more people to pick it up. But I know that a lot of people now, they're so interested in playing golf, and a lot of actually sportsmen, after they retire, they all come play golf. So that tells me how good golf is. So I believe there's one day golf is going to be really popular.
And how many courses are cropping up in areas of China? Like say your local area, how many courses are there?
I know when I think, I'm from Guangzhou, and in Guangzhou, I believe it's around 13, something like that. So it's not that bad.
It's developing, it's quite...
Yes, I think a lot of people are trying to build courses, but like I said, it takes a lot of land, so it's very hard.
Just the sports you mentioned there, they're quite prominent in the Olympics, and Chinese athletes do gain notoriety, fame, acclaim through the Olympics. So how big is Rio potentially for you going? Because you could really put golf on the map for China in Brazil in 4 years.
I really want to go to the Olympics in 2016. As a sportsman, I think Olympic is the highest event, highest festival of sports that we have to go. And I didn't have that chance, but because of 2016 in Rio, I have the chance. And I would say, I will be 27 at that time. and I would say I would be still playing. And hopefully I'll be at my best level at that time. But first of all, I really want to play, and but we know that it's only 2 spots from every country. So I'll try my best to be in it. But if I see another 2 or 3 Chinese girls that they play even better than me, and they beat the Olympics, I feel happy, because that means Chinese golf is improving, is growing. So.
Is Yanni your best friend on the tour, or just tell me your life on the tour? Who is your closest friends, and what do you like to do when you are not playing golf?
I'm really good with all the Taiwanese players, including Yanni and Amy Hong, Kenny Kong, and Teresa Liu, who used to play on the LPGA and now playing on the Japanese tour, because we all speak Mandarin. And I think that's why we'd be so good, we'd be so close. Of course, Yanni is one of the best, and I have some other friends, maybe Amy Yang from Korea, and Chela Choi, and Amy Asato too. I think that the life on the LPGA is so friendly. Everybody, we see each other like more than we see families. So we are really, family. So like a big family, and everybody treats each other so well. And I'm so happy that yesterday when I was playing, I actually saw a lot of players from LPGA and a lot of caddies too. So I feel like I'm playing on my home tour, and it feels really good.
I just thought I'd ask, obviously the LPGA rankings are very much dominated by sort of South Korean lady golfers, Chinese golfers like yourself. Is there almost like a national rivalry, and do you find it surprising that there aren't more Americans, or it is so dominated by Asian female golfers? Is that, is it a surprise to you, as it were?
No, I'm not surprised, because I think the reason why Asian women are really good at golf is because we kind of have, we always have tough mind, like tough mental, and we work real hard. In Asia, always, when we're little, our parents will push us so hard. If we want to be a player, and they push you so hard, like they watch you, they want you to practice like how many hours each day, and they watch you when you practice, and they're really strict. But in, I think, other places like America or Europe, I think when you grow up, parents don't push you that as much. So I think maybe we spend more time when we are young. So when we turn 18, we've already started playing golf for like 10 years or over 10. So I think that helps, and always tough mental is very important too. And I think another thing is the body, our bodies are not very different. Like we have tall girls in Asia, and in America they have short girls too. So I think that's, we can hit as far as the American girls. I think that's why we're not worse than them. But for men, Asian guys are shorter and less power, and European or American guys can drive them like easily. That's why it's maybe a little different.